Hello, this is Dr. Jerry Lloyd, and we've been studying about Abomination of Desolation. Last time we got together, we talked about the war that is spoken of in Ezekiel 38, that it could be, why would you sign a peace treaty that if there's not a war to end? So the Antichrist is going to, in Daniel chapter 9, it tells us, verse 27, and he, the Antichrist, shall confirm the covenant, the treaty, with many for 1 week. That's 7-year peace treaty, and that will be the 7 years of tribulation, or the 70th week of Daniel. And so this will come after, probably, Ezekiel chapter 38. Now, how does this guy engineer coming into power? Well, in chapter 11 of Daniel, it tells us, and that's what we're going to look at today. In Daniel chapter 11, we're going to start in verse 21. The first part is a history that's already been fulfilled, probably, or very evidently. And then he gets into the future. He says, and in his state shall stand up a vile person. So this Antichrist is going to be a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. Now he'll be the ruler of the nation, but they won't speak honorably about him. His people will not, or at least the other leadership. But he shall come in peaceably, the promise of peace. He won't be leading a rebellion or something like that, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries, because of the things that he says. And with the arms of the flood shall they be overthrown from before him, and shall be broken, and yea, also the prince of the covenant. So the prince of the covenant, apparently this is the prince of the covenant, the one who signs the peace treaty, or the promise. And after the league, the peace treaty made with him, he shall work deceitfully, and for he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people. Would that be with a minority, or maybe they were pygmies or something? I don't know what it means, a small company, but at any rate, he says he shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the province. So he will come in peaceably, and listen to what it talks about. This apparently is a prosperous nation that he is the king of, and the fattest places of the province, and he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He shall, now what is it that they've not done, haven't been able to do in this nation? He shall scatter among them the prey and the spoil and riches. Yea, and shall forecast his devices against the strongholds even for a time. In other words, he's going to share the wealth, take from the rich and give to the poor. Be a regular Robin Hood or socialist. Shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south. Now, who's the king of the south? Now, the king of the south would be probably Egypt, because we're talking about south of Egypt, or south of Israel, with a great army. And the king of the south shall be stirred up in battle with a very great and mighty army, but he shall not stand. Why won't he? Why won't he be successful in his campaign against the north? For they shall forecast devices against him, mighty army, but he shall not stand, for they, his own people, shall rebel against him. Yea, they shall that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him. Now we're talking about how the king of the south is defeated, not really by the warfare of the beast or Antichrist, the prince of the covenant, by kind of filling the void or defeating these people who undermine their own army, their own leader. And his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table. So they'll get down and sit down, and they'll have a peace treaty, even though there has been not an awful lot of warfare, apparently. They shall sit down, and these kings' hearts will be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table. They're just going to lie to each other, but it shall not prosper, for yet the end shall not be for the time appointed. Then shall he return to his own land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant, and he shall do exploits and return to his own land. And so when he leaves the peace treaty, he's going to have some guarantees. Who knows? Maybe this is because of his involvement in the war, or it could be that he arranged the peace of the war and he gains from it. Usually when the United States, for example, engineers a peace treaty in the Middle East, they usually guarantee it with a bunch of our money, and we don't gain from it. Well, this fellow's going to gain from it, and his country is going to, says that they have great riches. So next time we get together, we're going to find out what happens in the middle of the tribulation, and that is the abomination which brings desolation, or the abomination of desolation. Exactly what is that? If you want to continue with this and get a little more insight into what's happening here, well, then subscribe so you won't miss any of these, and like it and share it with others so that they can also be in a conversation with you. This is Dr. Jerry Lloyd. Thank you very much.